Hello, everyone. Here we are once again on Out of the Box podcast. I'm your host, Jim Andre, and I got my co-host here, Bradley Powers, and our special guest this evening is Vic Makaroff. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
good.
Thank you, Jim.
So
Yeah.
we originally had another guest booked. Who was that? Nigel, right?
Nigel Impey, unfortunately, he couldn't make it. He's double booked. He's got another podcast to appear on. So we got Vic Makaroff instead, an experiencer.
Yeah, thank you for filling in, Vic. We appreciate that.
Righto.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, super. And we'll be discussing the Anunnaki, the Garden of Eden, Adam and Lemuria. And Vic has some diverse thoughts regarding these subjects, which are worth listening to.
Well, the Garden of Eden, that was originally a paradise, was it not?
Originally, there's concepts that see these Anunnaki apparently came right. They settled between the Euphrates and Tigris River. I think it's now Iraq. Right. So within they built 7 cities. Right. Adu was the capital, and other cities had particular reasons for being there. One was a teleporting place. One was a hospital. One was a military. There's other one which was Aru or something. Aru was the capital, and within one of these cities was called Eden.
So was this a garden, a part of a collective
No.
community?
It was one of their cities apparently, with the Anunnakis when they set up the civilization from between the Tigris and Euphrates River. They had predominantly 7 cities. Now, the Garden of Eden is spelled differently. The spelling is different. But some suggestions would be that that's where they get this concept of Garden of Eden.
Well,
From that city.
The only thing we can go by is what is historically written. I mean,
right. This is actually in text, in Sumerian text. You can look it up in the history of the Sumerian text. And you got to also understand that before that, there was other civilizations, like the Babylons and the Babylonians. They also had a garden. They also had these hanging gardens of Babylon, or something they used to call it, which is another concept from this actual concept of Eden itself.
I don't know.
And you were saying there's more than one Adam, is that right, Vic?
There is a theory going around, right? There was actually 2 creations of atoms. Right? The original creation of Adam was created in the celestial realms.
Yeah, but is it different? Is it actually different atoms, or is it different concepts of Adam?
Yeah, it could be a different concept of Adam, but the concept suggests there is actually 2 creations of Adam. There's the original one, which is highly psychic, highly used both sort of aspects of his brain, right? Highly intellect, right? And other live being status. Apparently about 7 foot tall for all the imagery. The general imagery they give then on this theory is what people refer to as these Nordics, tall greys.
Well, that's the thing. I think there's one Adam and there's different theories. So I mean,
right?
How does one decipher what's true historically and what isn't, just because different theories are written?
So why should we then stem the fact that the Garden of Eden in itself is a separate theory, when one could suggest it actually comes from the idea of Eden itself, one of the cities set up by the Anunnaki, who created the civilization between the Tigris and Euphrates River.
Yeah, I mean, everything today we know that with authority and mainstream news media, we know it's all lies.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it could be lies right from the beginning, for all we know.
Yeah, man. But primarily, what you see is when you read this stuff, it's Sumerian mythology.
Sumerian.
I guess
Yes.
it's whatever we as individuals want to believe it is.
Right.
Sumerian is the Sumerian. The only person that could translate the Sumerian clay tablets was Sitchin, and yet some people are saying like what he couldn't translate, he actually made up what he thought it said because he was under a lot of pressure by the inner circle of the Freemasons who actually wanted the translation. So he was under some stress there.
There's a 10-part series of some professor in America who actually translated himself and then clarifies that what Sitchin translated was actually false and proves it.
So Bradley, you're saying Sitchin is the only one that could translate?
Yes, and he was under pressure by the Freemasons to translate.
So what gave him the authority to translate? What was the
Freemasons, the inner circle of the Freemasons?
No, I'm saying if he was the only one with the ability to know what it said, where did he get that from?
He was a scholar in that field of Sumerian language.
Yeah, well, there's other scholars as well. I mean, but you were stating that he's the only one that could translate
at that time, and he was a Freemason, possibly because he translated for the Freemasons, whereas they probably didn't have another translator. The Freemasons probably didn't have another translator. I just want to shout out to thank you for joining us, everyone. David Daly's in the house. I'd also like to say thank you for joining us, Julie Ann Guthrie Smolson, Benny C. Trent, Stephanie White Mbowski, Bradley Chester. Pleasure to have you near us. Dedrick Hilton, hi there, thank you for joining us. We've got quite a lot of viewers as well.
Hi, Dedrick.
See, these Egyptian hieroglyphs wouldn't be able to translate until they found some tablet somewhere that actually translated it. From that, they created these translations we refer to as the Egyptian hieroglyphs. So, how did Sitchin translate it? From what?
The Sumerian clay tablets.
Yeah, but they were in their own language. How did he translate it?
That's right. And he was like a scholar in that field. He knew that language, and to find someone who knew, and plus he was affiliated with the Freemasons, to find someone who knew that language was quite well, maybe impossible at the time.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure there's other scholars that can translate Sumerian, right? I mean,
who are affiliated? Would they have been affiliated with the Freemasons?
Why would they have to be affiliated with the Freemasons to translate Sumerian language?
Because I think that they wanted to take the credit, or it mattered. It mattered that they would be affiliated with the Freemasons. That was what mattered. Julie Ann Guthrie Smolson says Adam was Lucifer, also known as Nimrod, and Gilgamesh. Adam was an alien, a shapeshifter, but that's a psychic ability. That's her theory on Adam. Highly Benny C. Trent. Benny C. Trent says, hello, wise men. Thank you for that. Julie Ann Guthrie Smolson says she loves Fitz insights. Hi there, Bradley Chester. And Benny C. Trent says, Julie, Adam could not be those guys and start mankind. And
David Daly says Sitchin was the first, but there's others.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
And that's right, David. Without Freemasonry. And it mattered.
Yeah.
And because they were without Freemasons are connected, and it mattered that he was affiliated with the Freemasons, or he could have been a Freemason, but that mattered absolutely. Whereas the others who could translate were not. Dedrick Hilton is asking what the topic is. The topic is we're going to be discussing the Anunnaki, the Garden of Eden, Adam, and Lemuria. Also, Julie Ann Guthrie Smolson says Benny C. Trent, I have insight into this. It is possible what she's saying about Adam. And she says that they were not the beginning. Adam was not the beginning of mankind. And Benny C. Trent says, me too, but the time frames are different and some try to link them all. But the Adam, not the being, was in them in DNA. Mankind was here before the Adamites. There were beings that were more intelligent than mankind. Oh, that's quite a good comment, Benny, because yeah, that's right. 460,000 years ago, allegedly, the Anunnaki arrived, and when they came here, the reptilians were walking on the surface of the earth. We had the Pleiadians there as well, possibly the Alpha Draconians, but there was a war and they were forced underground, and the Anunnaki ruled supreme. But there was other intelligent life forms before Adam. I agree with that. And Dedrick Hilton says, he heard Freemason. I actually think it's possible that Sitchin was a Freemason. But like Dedrick says, there was others as well who could have translated. However, they wasn't given the opportunity.
This idea that this Sumerian civilization was the first civilization is fallacy. It's fallacy.
The oldest with record.
There's a thing that's discovered in Turkey now called Gobli Tepe. Gobli Tepe predates the Sumerian civilization by thousands of years.
Yeah.
There's this idea also that they actually suggested that they come from Nibiru is fallacy. I've seen reports from people working in the Air Force having dealings with these Anunnaki for over 10 years, and they're physically coming out and saying this whole concept is misinformation. Complete misinformation. They're multi-dimensional beings.
You know, Nibiru. Some are saying Nibiru did exist.
It exists, man.
But it was a place. It wasn't a planet. It was a place, like a city or something like that. It wasn't a planet.
But this concept where these Anunnaki come from this planet Nibiru is hockery. These Anunnaki are multidimensional beings. They've found a way and access to enter our state of reality, our physical state of reality, maybe 450,000 years ago.
Yeah.
But to suggest they come from Nibiru is sheer nonsense.
Nibiru, but also
misinformation.
The mainstream suggests Nibiru is a planet, whereas some say no, Nibiru does exist, but it was not and it's mentioned, but it was not a planet. It was actually a place here on Earth.
Right.
Place.
Now the idea of Nibiru existing in one form or another, that can be accepted. What I'm suggesting though is the idea of these beings called Anunnaki coming from this concept of either a place or a planet is nonsense. It's sheer crap.
I've got some from the forum. I've got a few questions, comments to share. Bradley Chester says Billy Carson reckons Sitchin's translations are reasonably accurate. He's done his own translation using an app of some sort. Benny C. Trent says some misinformation. Yes, stargates travel from other dimensions too. David Daly says Nibiru is a reality. And Dedrick Hilton says, I think God just happens to interact with Adam on that level first, but other humans was there. And
half of them comments I don't even have on my end.
Yeah, I don't get them.
Yeah,
hang on.
I've got 3 devices here, Jim. I've got different forums on all 3 devices.
Oh yeah.
No.
In fact,
this particular American Air Force officer, right, flatly came out recently and said the whole idea, and he's had dealings with them, right, for over 10 years. These Anunnaki, the Anunnaki exist. They're reality. Nibiru is reality as well, right? But to combine them two together is unreality. It's complete another fallacy. It's nonsense. These beings are either interdimensional or multidimensional beings having a way, an access, of finding a way, an access to come into our physical state of reality. Maybe 450,000 years ago, if you say so.
So, like, we got a view of the mainstream say it's a planet. We got views that it could be a place and also a reality as well.
Man.
Yeah.
Man.
And Dedrick Hilton says Nibiru is a dimension. And Dedrick Hilton says he has a few ideas for the show Unseen Realms. Thank you for that, Dedrick. David Daly says Nibiru is a reality. Yeah.
There's been instances where actually NASA has discovered this Planet X, Planet 9, Nibiru actually. For some reason, they hold it to themselves. They've actually, and actually the suggestion Nibiru and the way it travels in its sort of some funny way, it actually has its own star, which is a dwarf star.
Yeah.
So then we then become a binary planet system, not a singular system, in essence.
Benny C. Trent says, Vic, he has a question for you. If we get visited now, why is it that Anunnaki couldn't visit us?
But they are visiting us now. That's what this whole suggestion from this Air Force officer saying. He's had dealings with them for over 10 years.
The Anunnaki has been here right along.
Yeah, man.
And Benny C. Trent says, Benny C. Trent says, we have the Anunnaki proofs and none from other alien races.
Yes, we do. Absolutely, we do. There are plenty of proof from other aliens interacting on planet Earth.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
Plenty of proof, man. The whole concept of Atlantis is proof enough, where there was an intermingling of many species, from the Pleiadians to the Andromedaeans, even the Reptilians, will some suggest, intermingling with this society.
Yeah.
So, Vic, in your opinion, do you think that the world is being controlled by an alien species rather than man himself?
I think they have influence on certain classes and certain people, certain groups or whatever, whether it be demonic or alien species. Yeah, I agree. But that doesn't mean the whole human species then is in control or being controlled. It's just these elements which have.
No. I'm saying they control the 1% that control the rest.
Yeah, no. The controls is an interesting word. I suggest a strong influence within that percent. Yeah,
I think Jim's actually bringing up the subject. The subject of, is it? Some say this is a reptilian planet, and they instigate the 1%.
They have a strong influence, but that influence will be by the humans actually initiating an influence with them, or vice versa. I wouldn't say control. I'd say strong influence.
Yeah. And we have David Daly said Anunnaki visited us ways no matter what we do, a negative or not. And Dedrick Hilton says, I need to see a reptilian skeleton. And Larry Carnell Hawkins says, if Nibiru doesn't exist, why did the White House spend millions of stolen taxation, rename it Planet Biden?
How would you see a reptilian skeleton if they're primarily etheric by nature? Well, how would you see a reptilian skeleton if they're generally etheric by nature? They have access to our physical state of reality with shapeshifting abilities, all their forms of technology, which they can manifest physically, visually or mentally, on the person they're encountering.
Yeah.
These depictions you see are actually the final phase of them showing their physical state, having shape-shifting or technology to do this.
David Daly says reptilians do not control anymore. And Benny C. Trent says, cuneiform tablets. What other aliens have left tablets of their origin?
Why would aliens need to leave tablets? Oh, okay. How about Thoth with the animal tablets?
A very good point. Very good point.
That's straight
David
up. And there'd
Daly
be, I
says-
reckon, other references as well. But that's just straight up, just off the thought of my head.
And a very good reference as well, Vic, I will say. David Daly says that the reptilians' time finished in the 1980s, from his opinion.
Interesting. That's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
So if their time finished, who took over?
Aha, interesting. Interesting. And exactly. And who fills the void then? If they've got this control and then they're feeding off humanity with their loose or whatever, who will then fill, or enslave, who will then fill the void?
Right.
Good concept, man. I've heard a similar concept to this as well. Excellent
Exactly.
point, Jim. Excellent
Yeah, very
point.
good point. Good point, Jim.
Cool point, man.
Larry Carnell Hawkins says every human brain is partly reptilian, and I'm going to go along with that, Larry. Thank you for sharing that.
Yep. That part of the brain, which is called the reptilian brain, governs two primary functions. They're called flight or fight. That instinct then is when you encounter something paranormal or beyond our physical state of reality, you then respond. And that area of the reptilian brain gives you that response, either a flight or fight.
Yeah.
David Daly
And
says it was now being controlled by not very good people. I'd be interesting to further elaborate on this topic here. So if they're no longer controlled since the 80s, why is it they lost control? Were they forced out of control, or did they come to some kind of agreement with what you refer to as not very good people?
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting concept. I agree with you. What do you mean by control and losing control as well? I mean, this is why I refer to this Air Force colonel who's had dealings with him for the last 10 years. They're still about, man.
Julie Ann Guthrie Smolson says it's a bunch of BS. The tablets are myths. Why would anyone make up stories versus writing down their history?
Bingo.
Tablets, right.
She's right. In essence, she's right. There's a theory going around, right? And recently someone posted a very good post, which I reshared, which explains this. This was him making ideas up, purely making it, and then claiming to be his own. The person knows, he's in the chat, the person knows, and I actually mentioned it on the comment, very cool post. Very, very cool post, man. She's right.
And
in essence, she's right.
David Daly says, but time will bring us back on track. Yeah, but I mean to do a complete reset, the way things are so out of balance at this very moment, it wouldn't be without sacrifice.
And Benny C. Trent says we have more than Nibiru in our universal yard. We were once a binary universe, two stars, and the planetary collision that brought them here.
No, we still are. According to Billy Carson's theory, we still are. The whole process of Nibiru is traveling the way it does, right, because it has what is in itself a dwarf star. That controls its actual movement within our constellation. And so our planets are controlled, work around the sun.
Larry Carnell Hawkins says CGI cooperation, quantum computer, have mind controller networks and consciousness transfer technologies with DARPA and the internet. If things is all mapped, all is mapped, he's claiming.
Yeah, he's probably true. So,
Well,
and going back,
Matthew's in the house. How you doing, Matt?
Hey,
Saying good
man.
evening, fellas. I got to get ready to do the broadcast, so I'll tune here in a little bit. I've shared you guys in the Matrix as well. I'll drop it on my personal profile. Thank you, Matt.
Cool, man. Matt's an interesting
Matthew.
fella, man, I must admit. He's one
you, Matthew.
cool dude, man. Yeah, man. And going back to these emerald tablets, right, if they're fake, right, from those tablets come these Hermetic principles, Hermetic laws, 7 Semitic laws, as above, as below. If the tablets are fake, what makes it then these Hermetic laws to be true?
And Benny C. Trent says the emerald tablet things of the God's higher consciousness, not a record like the Sumerian cuneiform from tablet.
No, again, no.
What
It comes
alien?
from,
Hang on, Vic.
Yeah.
What alien race left info? We like to deny the Anunnaki. That's what he's saying.
No. They were written because he went to Egyptian secret schools. He went through the schooling system, Egyptian secret schools. He then formulated these tablets, right, which is, from all accounts, a hogwash, and claimed them to be his own. Now, this, it goes on. This Thoth, right, is actually Anunnaki himself. He then defied he then defied his own and went in allegiance with the Anunnaki.
Matthew Turner says, yep, the government knows what you first smell like down to the molecular structure of it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, Thoth was the super god on the moon, and allegedly he gave us hieroglyphics, science, astronomy, and magic as well, amongst many other things. Some people say that he actually enhanced the lives of mankind with what he shared with words of wisdom. Some people say that Thoth actually tried to brainwash mankind.
Yeah, man, he did. Via the emerald tablets.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Gary W. White is in the house. Hi there, Gary.
Hey, Gary.
Thank you for joining us. And Benny C. Trent says, have the tablets been carbon dated?
For memory, yes, I have. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. For memory,
And
I
what do
don't
they
exactly
claim?
remember.
How far back do they claim it goes?
I can't remember exactly. I'm not going to say. I can't recall for memory.
Larry Carnell Hawkins says Hillary emails reincarnation of Nephilim DNA. He's referring to Hillary.
Julie Ann Guthrie Smolson has got a different take on the whole concept that we're actually talking here. I'm going to lose my mind over here, she says. For F's sake, I was Enkidu and she was a woman. I wrote the Epic of Gilgamesh with him. And after we died, they wrote about us in a thing called the Bible as Adam and Eve because she believes the reincarnation of these characters.
Cool.
Wow, we are pulling in a lot of viewers as well. I'm pleased.
Cool. It's going to create a lot of controversy. Some thoughts and comments are going to react with people specifically, but it actually reaches a healthy debate as well.
Bradley Chester says you can't carbon date stone, in his opinion.
No, but that's why they're called emerald tablets.
Right.
They're not a stone, they're an emerald.
Thank you very much indeed. Matthew Turner, Jim, do you want to read that?
Yeah, Matthew Turner says Sir Doriel, a Masonic Templar, is supposedly who translated the Emerald Tablets. Thoth never was Egyptian, he just came to the Egyptian people. Thoth was never Greek, but yet he taught Greek philosophy. People forget about the father, Thoth-me. They were both Atlantean before they were ever Egyptian.
There you go. But Thoth comes from Atlantis. There's no doubt about it. Some suggest he was some sort of prince or lord in Atlantis as well. But within that, right, there's also claims right, that Thoth is originally an Anunnaki. Some would even suggest that he's the son of which one, I'm not sure. Enlil, I think, is one of the two, Enlil or Enki. He then went to Egypt and studied in these mystical schools, secret schools, whatever they're called.
Well, Atlantis served as a learning facility, in my opinion, to jumpstart man's knowledge.
Yeah, man. And another concept of Atlantis is it was a melting pot of many alien species.
Benny C. Trent says the Book of Thoth and the Emerald Tablets are different things, in his opinion. Hermes Trismegistus, get that right. Yeah, I'll go along with that, Benny. But however, he does say the Book of Thoth and the Emerald Tablets are different things. It didn't Thoth write the Book of the Dead?
Yeah, I've heard something about this. Not sure exactly. I won't comment. Not sure. But I have heard something about that. Yeah. Not sure exactly.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. Not sure. I won't comment.
No comment.
Yeah. No. I have heard references, but I'm not sure. So I won't comment.
Yeah, actually, I've always attributed Thoth to the Book of the Dead. And when you read it, you will actually gain immortality. Wow, the forum is active. We've got well over 30 viewers. That's excellent. And that's our first showing. And we are on a different platform, everybody, which means that we're going to put in more viewers. There will be more contributions to the forum. Thank you for supporting the show. And we have Vic in the house.
Yeah, that should give us a little bit more interaction.
And we will be more frequently broadcasting, so that get used to us being around, and thank you for joining us with your diverse thoughts as well. Everything is debatable. I agree with that.
Of course, man. Of course.
Everyone's Jim said this to me, like, everyone's got their own truth, basically.
That's right.
And David Daly says this is a great show, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
And Benny C. Trent says they are different things. The Book of Thoth is obtained through meditation. Wow.
I'll look into it, man. I've heard references. I haven't read it, but I'll look into it.
Well, and Matthew Turner. Have you got that there? Yeah, you have. Yeah. So you got a couple there to read, Jim, if you want to read them.
All right. What'd you say, Bradley?
You got Matthew Turner and Larry Cornell Hawkins. If they're showing.
Matthew says Enlil was the genesis of Israel. This is why they believe that they are God's chosen. This is because he genetically created them. They know him as Yahweh.
Yeah, right. Yahweh is a translation from the actual theory of God, which is 4 letters: YHW something, TW or something. That concept could not be, it cannot be physically spoken. The Hebrews then translated to for conceptualizing it as Yahweh. But the true name of their God is 4 letters, man. You pronounce it. Try to pronounce it.
The reason why they say Yahweh, because it makes it pronounceable for everybody. To define Yahweh. But Yahweh, the actual name Yahweh hasn't got any vowels in it. That's what you're really saying.
Yeah, it's got 4 letters.
Technique. Technique of how you say it as well, isn't it?
That's just like Burger King. You can have it Yahweh.
Yeah, man. What was these comments going here later? Righto.
And Benny C. Trent says, yes, Vic, Elohim is God of the Bible. Elohim is actually more than one
Elohim
God.
is plural. Elohim is plural. El in Hebrew is God. Elohim is plural, meaning many. And the proper translation for Elohim is the shining ones.
Well, my belief is God is one energy with 1,000 different names.
Right. Elohim, you look at it, Elohim is a plural. It's not singular.
And Matthew Turner's got to go. Thank you for your contribution, Matthew Turner, and thank you for connecting with us in the first place. Pleasure to have you near us. Matthew
Thanks
Turner.
again. Thanks again, Matt.
See you, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Larry Carnell Hawkins, Pangian Mountains, Appalachian Ridge is the original mountain ridge of the planet.
Elohim, right, was enforced by King James when he was writing the Bible, telling these people of the time, this is how you're going to call God. And this is how we're going to tell you to do it. Simple as. But the true meaning is shining ones. In Old Hebrew, El is God, not Elohim.
Well, God is an energy that makes all things possible, makes our existence possible, and we're free to view God in any way we want to view him as.
Yeah, man.
And
Yeah,
we
man.
all view him in different ways.
Absolutely, man. But we're talking about the word, Jim. I agree with you. We're talking about the word itself. Elohim does not mean God. It can't mean one. It's
Okay,
because it
let
is
me
of a
rephrase
plural
that.
nature.
I will rephrase that, Vic, because it was actually a typo from Benny C. Trent. Benny C.
right.
Trent said, you are correct, Vic. My point
Sure.
is, they speak of the Elohim. Yes, Vic. Sorry for my spell check.
Sorry, bud. All right, fine, cool, man. But I see this concept. People bringing this concept up as Elohim is God.
You see, that's why
Conceptually
everybody searches for the truth, the one truth. There is no one truth.
No, I understand that,
There
but
are many.
scholastically, this word
Many
is
truths.
misconstrued, man. The word scholastically is misconstrued. It's been
There are many
mistranslated.
truths.
Yeah,
It all depends on what each individual believes as being their truth.
absolutely.
There are hundreds of thousands of truths.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. But if you take it from a scholastic point of view, that's the truth of that word.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why the one truth is so elusive, is because there is no one truth.
Yeah, man.
Benny C. Trent says, Jehovah, Elohim, Yahweh are names that these spellings have confused mankind.
As they do, via dogma, which we call the church.
Bottom line is they all go in the same direction and mean basically the same thing.
Yeah, man. Just from different angles, different perspectives.
Different concepts, that's all.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Different perspectives. That's right.
Yeah, well, Jehovah, Elohim, Yahweh are the God from the Bible, some would say, with different names.
One man's reality is different than the next.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, you calm down now, Vic. You're all right. Take a chill pill.
I'm chilled, man. I am chilled.
Take the gloves off. Come on. With your baseball cap on, your new look. Yeah, wear the hat, gang. Yeah. Yeah, we are. Yeah. And we got quite a few contributions. Please feel free to ask us anything if you're watching the show. Thank you for supporting us.
I apologize for not being able to see all the comments, so that's why I can't post some of them. But
I have got 3 devices here, and I've got 3 different forums. They're all different, and I've got names as well on all 3. And I've shared the show like mega times. I'll have a look. Oh look, mysterious. Oh, I could just carry on sharing the show. Deities and demons, we're posting them. Yeah, we are streaming live in many groups.
Oh,
54 shares. I've shared the show to 54 groups so far. That's not counting the message group. Yeah, 54 groups, man. Wow. And Benny C. Trent says, great convo, fellas. Thank you for saying that, Benny. And that's one of the reasons why I thought having you in the group would be excellent. Contributing to the forum, because this is your scene. You love talking about the Anunnaki. And Heather Cashmoney joined us, and she says, great to see you guys. Hi there, Heather. Yeah, 54 times this show's been shared. We're streaming in 54 groups as we speak. And that's not counting the messenger group. We're on a new platform. We got like well over 30 viewers. That's really good. Wow. And we got Vic in the house with Jim Andre and myself, Bradley Powers. And we're discussing the Anunnaki. Want to discuss Adam, Lemuria. Or do you want to answer the phone?
no, you're right. No call back. All right.
It's not the Men in Black, is it?
Huh? Oh, could be. Who knows? No, good friend.
FBI.
Which stands for?
I'm a member.
Oh, look, Dion Manley says, Bradley, you would faint to see.
You already know the answer to that question.
Dion Manley's. What's that? We have Dion Manley says, Bradley, you would faint to see all the entities that come visit us every night. We have pictures. Well, you're welcome to come on the show. I don't believe I would faint. My life has been full of quantum mysticism, and I've encountered many spiritual entities, demonic, good, bad. There's good and bad in demons, devils, angels, even on 4 separate occasions. So I don't think I would faint. I'm familiar with spiritual entities, not so much extraterrestrials, but spiritual entities very familiar with. So I don't think I would faint, but you're welcome to come onto the show, and we would like to exhibit your pictures of spiritual entities. That'd be quite interesting. So thank you for your contribution, Dion. Aliens too. Well, that's pretty good. I've seen an extraterrestrial on one occasion for 5 seconds. However, like Jim and Vic, they've seen extraterrestrials on a much bigger scale than myself. Jim is affiliated with the Short Greys. He gets downloads from them. He's been abducted by them, and he's even got tattoo on his arm. You didn't get the picture, did you, Jim, of that
What's
forum? There's 2 pictures of your arm, light and dark shaded picture of the tattoo on your arm in that
I can
messenger.
try to search for one where you can see the difference where it morphs. Hold on, let me see if I
Yes.
can find it.
We got 15 minutes, Jim. So, I think you'll have the time. And Benny C. Trent says, question for the guide. You keep searching for knowledge. Do you believe that after death we will choose a heavenly realm? I know we spoke about it. I think if you believe in heaven or hell, you may go there. And if you don't believe in heaven and hell, you may not go there. That's feasible. There is a light that attracts us. And like they do say here, full of light. Although some people say the light is a soul trap. But there is when this is a mortality dream, and when we cross over into the next life, you could say that is reality. And
so why
Dion,
do people constantly reincarnate?
Dion is saying that giants, fairies, and dragons exist. Yes, they do. I totally agree with you. I've encountered dragons and fairy orbs. Yeah, they do exist. Yeah, I agree with you on that. The Fae. Yeah, dragons are the Fae, believe it or not. And Dion says, how do I show you all the pictures? Come on the show, Dion. Inbox me. Inbox Jim Andre. Inbox us. And then we will make it happen. we will have you on the show, and then you could show your images in our studio on the show, and Jim, my techno wizard, will actually make it happen. And Larry Carnell Hawkins says, which do you think has more right to this realm of existence? Consciousness, your body, dreams of shadows. The light is DMT during death. Well, thank you for sharing that, Larry. The light is DMT during death. That's a good perception, actually. Yes, so Dion Manley, come on the show. We'd like to hear you share some of your experiences.
I found that picture. Let me see if I can get it up on here. Hold on.
There's two there, Jim. I don't know if you've got both.
No, this is another one that I'm showing.
Okay. Yeah, Jim's going to be showing a tattoo that he received from the short rays when he was abducted. He lost 6 hours of time and he was abducted by them, and they tattooed his arm. And what he's going to show you right now is an image of a tattoo that morphs. It actually changes shape.
I'm trying to get it up on here. I'm trying to find it. Hold on.
Oh, we lost Vic.
I can't find it on the. Hang on a second.
Facebook user says, Bradley Powers, do you wish to be abducted? And my answer to that is, I haven't really thought about it. I'm an ambassador for mankind, and I believe life is a gift for me. It's not a gift for everyone. For some people, living here on Earth is a living hell, and they want to be abducted. They don't want to be here. And for some people, living on Earth is a heaven. And in my case, like I'd say, it's more heavenly for me. I don't really choose to be abducted. If I was to be abducted, I'd like to be abducted by the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Nordics, the Blue Avians, the Andromedans. They are all benevolent entities that actually care about mankind and make everything we need to wish to enhance our lives. Oh, thank you, Jim. Jim, over to you.
Yeah, this here's the picture that I was trying to get on here. This is when it was fresh on my arm. And on the right side here is how it's morphed slightly during time. You see here, the sun looks, or the moon, or whatever that is. Looks like it's higher here. You've got this white in here that wasn't there originally. And you can't really put white ink over dark ink on a tattoo. So it does morph over time.
Yeah, it changes shape. And Jim Andre is actually hoping that MUFON would actually have to take a look and maybe examine the ink as well.
I don't know what happened to Vic. There he is.
Oh, well done, Vic. We thought you was abducted, actually.
You got abducted.
By the Nordics. Vic is a Viking, and we thought the Nordics have actually got hold of Vic. So, I don't know. Yeah, so someone said, would I like to be abducted? And I have named 5 benevolent, intelligent life forms that I wouldn't mind being abducted by, but I'm quite happy here on Earth, to be honest with you. Connecting with spiritual entities, to be honest with you. And
you don't need to be abducted to have contact with these celestial beings, man, or these higher beings, these Acturians. Why would you need to be abducted for?
No, he's asking me, do I wish to be abducted? No, I don't wish to be abducted. But if I was to be abducted, Vic, I'd want to be abducted by the Pleiadians, Arcturians, Nordics, Blue Avians, Andromedans, those kind of benevolent, intelligent life forms. If I was to be abducted, I wouldn't want to be abducted by the Greys or Archons, definitely not Archons. And Benny C. Trent says, Yes, says to Dion Manley, send the images to Jim so we can see them, Dion. Benny says he's been on our show, Out of the Box, and Jim and Bradley are awesome. I think about that Jim tattoo moving. So thank you for that, Benny. It's very kind of you to share those thoughts. Whoop whoop. So we've got 8 minutes left of the show, so please feel free to contribute.
Yeah, this is the tattoo right here.
Yeah, thank you for showing it, Jim. And Jim, since Jim's abduction, which was how long ago, Jim?
That was in the late fall of 2012.
2012. So we're talking like 11 years.
Yeah.
And in those 11 years, Jim has found he's been blessed with some paranormal phenomenal gifts, and which I would call Jim Andre, who's very modest, is a quantum healer, and he actually uses telekinesis, and his mind has the ability to heal individuals of cancer and other ailments. He can actually help to heal them. And also, not just that, but I have actually spoken to some people that Jim has actually gave therapy to, and they've actually validated that Jim is the real deal. He is definitely a healer. I would call him
I refer to what I do as energetic healing.
Energetic healing. Thank you. Julianne Guffey Smolson says, thank you, fellas. Great show as always. Thank you, Julie. Thank you very much. And Benny C. Trent says, Vic, for us looking for higher elevation, what is the first thing to start on to raise the consciousness?
Good question. Good question. Removing what people refer to as blockages, which are physical mental manifestations originating in your physical reality. These blockages then infer into your etheric being, usually the root chakra. It then closes and then creates more problems. You then send a vibration through the etheric world. It then gets responded by demonic, depending on the frequency you're working on. It then gets responded primarily by demonic or low vibrational beings. They then will form attachments, whether it be internal or external. They create havoc on your system. You then have to remove these attachments. You have to remove the blockage. By the removal of the blockage, you will then possibly endeavor to discover, you will encounter what's called a Kundalini awakening. A Kundalini awakening then opens up your chakras. If you open up all your chakras, the 7 chakras, including your head chakra, that then gives you the ability to travel in dream state and interact with positive beings of higher realities.
And I'll add to that what Vic says. Yeah, I support Vic in what he's saying. The purpose of life is to seek ascension. Meditation can actually benefit you, help to raise your consciousness. And like, believe it or not, you don't have to necessarily lie on a settee, burn some incense and a white candle, and empty your mind. For some people, washing the car, if they enjoy washing the car, that's a form of therapy. That can help to. That's a form of meditation as well. Doing something you enjoy, that's meditation. It's good therapy for you, and it can help raise your consciousness. And also having an open mind to the concept of all things. Sometimes to believe in something could be denying yourself the truth. So it pays to keep an open mind to the concept of all things. Okay.
Well, we have a Facebook user asking, can Jim help open up chakras? Yes, that's possible. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know who it is, though. It says it's Facebook user. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't got a name there. Do you want to read that, Jim? Larry Cornell.
Smoke weed every day unlocks plaques in the endocannabinoid system and neuroplasticity of the consciousness. Find the matching cannabis strain based upon your bloodlines and receptor signals.
Huh? Cannabis strain? Nah, you don't need drugs, man. You can do it naturally.
Well, that was Donnie asking you. Yeah, that's
Hi there,
possible,
Donny.
Donnie.
Thank you for joining us. Donny's in the house. And
Well, there he is.
Oh, what happened to Bradley? There's a glitch
clearing
there.
interdimensional
Yeah.
black magic. Can Jim clear this?
What's that?
Jim, can you clear interdimensional black magic?
I believe it's possible. Yeah. I mean, that's something I never did, but I believe it's
that's a cool
possible.
concept, man. Interdimensional black magic. I've experienced that stuff, man. That's some wild stuff, man.
Yeah.
That is actually a true concept. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, Jim is a trier of all things. So, like, he's doing the most amazing of things, and he's still exploring what he can do and what his gift can do. So, like, if you want Jim Andre's help, you've got to reach out to Jim Andre yourself.
Yeah, I don't advertise it. I don't charge anything for the service, so I just do what I do. I try to help who I can. If they need help, they come to me, and I'll do what I can to help them.
Okay, I believe Julie has actually contacted you on a messenger inbox. And that's basically the end of the show. Thank you, everyone, for your contributions, for your comments, questions, and for supporting us. It's been a pleasure to have you near us. Thank you so much.
Good show, guys, man. I liked it.
Great show. Thanks for all your interaction. Yep.
Thank you.
See you all on the next one.
Thank you.
Right, peoples.